Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Jaya Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Govinda Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Vallabha Jaya Govinda Hare Krishnamukarvindam
Netraha vivanto nayana aviramam
Netrai vivanto nayana viramam
Parthastra padma purasya
Parasrabuddha paramapurasya Tathaiva chanyena lokaviraha Yahave Krishnamukarvindam Netrai vivanto nayana viramam Parasrabuddha paramapurasya
Tathaiva chanyena lokavira
Tathaiva chanyena lokavira
Ave Krishna Mukaravindam
Yahave Krishnamukarvindam
Devi Vanto Nayana Viramam
Netrai vivanto nayana viramam
Parthastra Paramapurasya
Parasrabuddha paramapurasya
तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा
Tathaiva chanyena lokavira
महाहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम्
Yahave Krishnamukarvindam
नेत्रैः पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामम्
Netrai vivanto nayana viramam
पार्थस्त्रपूतः पदमापुरस्य
Parasrabuddha paramapurasya
तथैव चान्ये नरलोकवीरा
Tathaiva chanyena lokavira
महाहवे कृष्णमुखारविन्दम्
Yahave Krishnamukarvindam
नेत्रैः पिबन्तो नयनाभिरामम्
Netrai vivanto nayana viramam
पार्थस्त्रपूतपदमापुरस्य
Parasrabuddha paramapurasya
तथा as also evacha and certainly anye others naraloka human society viraha fighters ye those ahave on the battlefield of Kurukshetra Krishna, Lord Krishna's Mukha Aravindam, face like a lotus flower, Netraihi, with the eyes, Pivantaha, while seeing, Nayana Abhiramam, very pleasing to the eyes, Partha, Arjuna, Astraputaha, purified by arrows, Padam, abode, Ahu, achieved, Asya, of him. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Translation. Certainly others who were fighters in the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus-like face of Krishna so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. Please repeat this translation. Certainly others who were fighters on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified by the onslaught of Arjuna's arrows, and while seeing the lotus-like face of Krishna so pleasing to the eyes, they achieved the abode of the Lord. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, appears in this world for two missionary purposes: to deliver the faithful and to annihilate the miscreants. But because the Lord is absolute, His two different kinds of actions, although apparently different, are ultimately one and the same. His annihilation of a person like Shishupala is as auspicious as his actions for the protection of the faithful. All the warriors who fought against Arjuna but who were able to see the lotus-like face of the Lord on the battlefront achieved the abode of the Lord exactly as the devotees of the Lord do. The words, pleasing to the eyes of the seer, Nayana Viram, are very significant. When the warriors from the other side of the battlefield saw Lord Krishna at the front, they appreciated his beauty and their dormant instinct of love of God was awakened. Shishupala saw the Lord also, but he saw him as his enemy, and his love was not awakened. Therefore, Shishupala achieved oneness with the Lord by merging in the impersonal glare of his body, called the Brahmajyoti. Others who were in the marginal position, being neither friends nor enemies, but slightly in love with God by appreciating the beauty of his face, were at once promoted to the spiritual planets, the Vaikunthas. The Lord's personal abode is called Golok Vrindavan, and the abodes where his plenary expansions reside are called the Vaikunthas, where the Lord is present as Narayana. Love of God is dormant in every living entity, and the entire process of devotional service unto the Lord is meant for awakening this dormant, eternal love of God. But there are degrees of such transcendental awakening. Those whose love of God is awakened to the fullest extent go back to the Goloka Vrindavana planet in the spiritual style. Whereas persons who have just awakened to love of God by accident or association are transferred to the Vaikuntha planets. Essentially, there is no material difference between Goloka and Vaikuntha. But in the Vaikunthas, the Lord is served in unlimited opulence, whereas in Goloka, the Lord is served in natural affection. This love of God is awakened by the association of pure devotees of the Lord. Here, the word Parthastra Putaha is significant. Those who saw the beautiful face of the Lord on the battlefield of Kurukshetra were purified first by Arjuna when he made his onslaught with arrows. The Lord appeared for the mission of diminishing the burden of the world, and Arjuna was assisting the Lord by fighting on his behalf. Arjuna personally declined to fight, and the whole instruction of the Bhagavad Gita was given to Arjuna to engage him in the fight. As a pure devotee of the Lord, Arjuna agreed to fight in preference to his own decision, and thus Arjuna fought to assist the Lord in his mission of diminishing the burden of the world. All the activities of a pure devotee are executed on behalf of the Lord, because a pure devotee of the Lord has nothing to do for his personal interest. Arjuna's killing was as good as killing by the Lord himself. As soon as Arjuna shot an arrow at an enemy, that enemy became purified of all material contaminations and became eligible to be transferred to the spiritual sky. Those warriors who appreciated the lotus feet of the Lord and saw his face at the front had their dormant love of God awakened, and thus they were transferred at once to Vaikuntha Loka, not to the impersonal state of Brahma Jyoti, as was Shishupala. Shishupala died without appreciating the Lord, while others died with appreciation of the Lord. Both were transferred to the spiritual sky, but those who awakened to love of God were transferred to the planets of the transcendental sky. Uddhava seemingly lamented that his own position was less than that of the warriors on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, because they had attained to the Vaikuntha, whereas he remained to lament the disappearance of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta Prabhu. Om Ajnana-Timirandasya Jnana-Darshanakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. The Srimad Bhagavatam gives us a totally different perspective of God, which is never to be found in any other scripture. Have you ever heard that Krishna's killing is as good as Krishna's protecting? Have you ever heard that? Anywhere? Never. Bhagavatam declares that Krishna is absolute, so there is no difference between his different actions. Whether he kills somebody or he blesses somebody, protects somebody, both are actually blessed by the Lord. Both are purified. Both are transferred to the spiritual world. This is very difficult to understand ordinarily for people. That somebody does so many atrocities, and after all that, when they are apparently punished by the Lord by being killed, they are completely purified and they go to the spiritual world. How is it possible? So for this, there are several explanations given in the Bhagavatam. We carefully understand that first of all, we should know that Krishna or his incarnations need not come for killing anybody. Krishna has so many agents who can definitely kill any powerful demon. Just like at the end of the duration of this universe, Krishna's agent called Shiva, he performs one Tandava Nritya. You have heard of this, right? Shiva, when he becomes angry and he performs the dance of destruction, Tandava Nritya, he destroys the entire universe. Entire universe destroys. So what is one asura like Hiranyakashipu or Shishupala or Kamsa? It's insignificant. Durga Devi, when she becomes angry, she can destroy any number of demons. She can do wholesale killing. Or she can only kill one particular demon. That also she can do. So, Krishna's agents, the demigods, or anybody empowered by Krishna, they can kill any demon, any disturbing person, any disturbing element. So Krishna doesn't come for actual killing. Please remember this. Krishna never comes for killing. He only comes for blessing. That's all. But the way he gives his blessing is different. for different people. Why? Because Krishna reciprocates according to the person's inclination. Somebody considers Krishna as his enemy, though Krishna is nobody's enemy. From Krishna's side, he always is very much a well-wisher. Suhridam sarva bhutanam, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, I am the best well-wisher of every living entity. Demons, demigods, bad people, good people, animals, birds, plants, everyone. Krishna is the best well-wisher. So Krishna is not against anyone. Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshu asti na priyaha. The Bhagavad Gita, he says, I am equal to everyone because I don't have any hatred for anybody. Neither I specially favor some people. Oh, he is my favorite. No. So Krishna doesn't come for any killing business. But when he was prayed for by Mother Earth, Bhudevi, she felt very much burdened by so many asuras, so many demons. Then she prayed to the Lord, please remove this burden. Then the Lord decided to personally come to reduce this burden on the earth. But when he personally comes, he definitely will reduce the burden, but he will necessarily deliver all those whom he personally kills. He will purify them. Simply by coming in contact with Krishna, some or the other, anyone becomes purified. Anyone can become purified of any amount of sinful reactions. It's just like when the sun rises and there are no clouds, of course. Then, however much the darkness is, it doesn't matter. Sun will dispel darkness irrespective of how dark a place may be. Correct? Similarly, any person who comes in contact with Krishna, however sinful he may be, will become completely purified. Now here something more interesting. That not only somebody can get purified by coming in contact with Krishna, somebody can get purified by coming in contact with Krishna's pure devotee. This is the secret behind Krishna becoming the chariot driver of Arjuna. Krishna told that he is not going to fight. But then why did he become the chariot driver of Arjuna? Because as chariot driver of Arjuna, Krishna will be in front of Arjuna, not at the back, not behind. And those who are fighting against Arjuna, naturally Arjuna is going to shoot arrows at them. So such people, they will get killed by Arjuna's arrows, and that will first of all purify them. They get purified because they are killed by arrows of the pure devotee. The pure devotee has no enmity against anybody. As is explained, Arjuna said, to Krishna, I don't want to personally fight against my relatives, against my enemies. No, I don't want to kill them. I don't want to fight against them. But when Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken to make Arjuna, you should fight. But the difference is, Krishna is telling to fight on my behalf. To fight on my behalf. So, Arjuna fought on behalf of Krishna. That means, Arjuna killing is the same as Krishna killing. No difference. And Arjuna's arrows, which were shot against some soldier, some warrior, Naraloka Veera, it purified them. And because they died in the presence of Krishna, because Krishna was right there on the battlefield, in front of Arjuna. So they got to see the lotus-like face of Krishna while dying on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, being killed by Arjuna's arrows. So, seeing Krishna and appreciating his beauty, Krishna's beauty is transcendental, it's not ordinary. Krishna's beauty is transcendental. So, appreciating Krishna's beautiful face, Netrai Pibanto Nayana Viram. That means those who are fighting in that battle as participants in a Dharma Yuddha. Actually, nobody in a Dharma Yuddha will have a feeling of hatred against the enemy. That is a Dharma Yuddha. No Kshatriya fights with an feeling of hatred. That is Kshatriya spirit. That is Kshatriya spirit. So, without hatred when they fight, naturally they die not with a feeling of getting defeated, feeling very sad, feeling very morose. No. Please remember, the consciousness is very important at the time of death. So at the time of death, for a person whose consciousness is Dharma Yuddha, such a person is favored by Krishna when Krishna gives them his darshan, gives them his remembrance. So Krishna gave his darshan to all these warriors, soldiers, Kshatriyas on the battlefield of Kurukshetra by personally being present. This was Krishna's mercy. So before the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna personally killed so many demons. So many demons. All of them are delivered. Now, the battle of Kurukshetra, Krishna is not personally going to kill. So, Krishna still wanted to deliver the remaining persons. So what did he do? He engaged Arjuna in killing them, the pure devotee. Again, the pure devotee's killing is as good as the pure devotee's blessing. No difference. Pure devotee also saying like Krishna. He has no enmity. Arjuna has no enmity against anybody. Whatever the miscreant Kauravas, they did to the Pandavas. Because the Pandavas are pure devotees, none of them had any ill feeling towards any of the Kauravas. None of them had any. That is the nature of a pure devotee. Prahlad Maharaj, his father gave him so much trouble. But in the end, when Hiranyakashipu when Narasimhadev killed Hiranyakashipu, Prahlad's father. So then, Narasimha is asking, you want any boon? You want any vara? You want any benediction? So Prahlad is telling, kindly excuse my father for whatever. Look at this. So much he was tortured and he's not taking anything personally. This is true. Arjuna, so much he was given trouble by this Duryodhana and party. But he never took any offense. Such a wonderful quality of pure devotee. Such a wonderful quality. There is a similar instance in the life of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada acquired one piece of land in Juhu, Mumbai, Bombay. Now there is a beautiful temple there. That piece of land he acquired, that person who was selling the land, that fellow wanted to cheat Prabhupada, wanted to cheat his son. He gave the land at the same time. He was trying to give trouble to the devotees so that devotees will leave and go away, thinking that, oh, this piece of land he purchased is not a good piece of land, so let us leave it and go. But Prabhupada never gave up. Prabhupada never gave up. Prabhupada actually established a temporary temple, and this person actually who sold the land was a Buddha. He was a very, very bad person. So, he sold the land, but then his idea was somehow give trouble to the devotees, create disturbance, and the devotees will go away. They were sadhus, what will they do if we give trouble? Why all this trouble? Let's leave it go. This was his plan. Prabhupada never actually went away, even though so much trouble this person. At one stage, this person had given enough trouble, this landlord. He actually died. He died of some natural cause, in heart attack or something. Then after that, his wife, she was completely devastated. She lost her husband, and there is this pending issue of the sale of this land. Not properly, the sale had not properly happened. So what to do? So she was very much feeling bad that her husband had given so much trouble to the devotees. She was feeling bad. So she was hesitating how to go and face Srila Prabhupada. So somehow with devotee she went to meet Prabhupada after her husband had died. And she was very, very repentant. She was crying, how can I face this Swamiji? Prabhupada was so nice to her. He told her, don't worry, everything will be all right. He assured her, spoke to her very kindly. And she felt so nice. Immediately she signed whatever documents, whatever balance things that were done. And she was given nice prasadam, a smile by Prabhupada. Prabhupada never took anything personally that was done by her husband. So much trouble he had given. You can read in the Bible, Prabhupada, how much trouble he had given. he had hired gundas to beat up the devotees, to break the shed that devotees had built as a temporary temple. He had tried to influence corrupt government persons to actually vacate the devotees from the land. So many things he did. A lot of trouble he did. But Prabhupada never took anything personally. Never took anything personally. So pure devotees are so magnanimous, so pure at heart. This is the meaning of pure devotee, pure at heart. Never has any ill feeling towards anybody, no matter what the other person may be or however bad the other person may treat. Now, artificially somebody cannot do this. You may decide, oh, I will be nice to everybody, even if they are not nice to me. But you cannot do this artificially. It's natural that somebody treats you, you become offended, you feel affected. It's natural. What a nice person you may be. But only when you are situated in Krishna consciousness, when you are completely purified by devotional service, only then your heart will be so pure that no amount of any external disturbance can actually affect you in your consciousness. This is the point. A devotee is undisturbed. Dhira. This word is used in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells, Dhiras tatra na muhyati. At the time of death, only a dhira, dhira means a pure devotee, can actually face death in such a way that the devotee is completely undisturbed. Nothing can disturb the devotee. Nobody can actually disturb the devotee. How much ever trouble they may give to a devotee, they cannot disturb his consciousness. So Arjuna, being a pure devotee, when he shot arrows, they became purified. And additionally, Krishna is present in the battle. So it is described, whoever saw Krishna's lotus face, beautiful face, immediately their love was awakened. Dormant love. Dormant love means love is there in everybody's heart for Krishna, but it is covered. It is in a sleeping condition, in a dormant condition. So that love has to be awakened. That can be awakened only by contact with Krishna or his pure devotees. But what kind of contact? The contact also has to be favorable. Just like Shishupala, he was also always thinking of Krishna as his enemy. So when he died also, he was actually thinking of Krishna. He died when Krishna, in the Rajasuya sacred, the previous verse that is described, for those of you who didn't hear yesterday's words, I'll read this verse. You have this is what is being told by Uddhava to Vidura. You have personally seen how Shishupala, the king of Chedi, achieved success in yoga practice. What yoga did Shishupala practice? He never practiced in yoga. It's called practice of yoga because he was always thinking of Krishna. Although he hated Lord Krishna, Shishupala was hating Lord Krishna. Why? Because Krishna kidnapped Rukmini when Rukmini was actually supposed to get married to Shishupala. Most beautiful princess of Vidarbha. Her marriage was arranged by her brother with Shishupala, powerful king. And Rukmini, secret letter she wrote to Krishna. And Krishna came and kidnapped Rukmini at the time of the marriage, before she would get married. So Shishupala was very, very, very angry against Krishna. Why did Krishna do this? Spoil my whole chance of marrying him. So ever since that time, Shishupala held an inimical feeling against Krishna. And in the Rajasuya sacrifice, in the presence of so many great saintly persons, sages, so many big demigods, in their presence when Yudhishthira was doing the Rajasuya sacrifice, Shishupala was also invited. In that assembly, when Krishna was selected to be the president of the assembly, and Krishna was offered the Agra Puja, the first worship of the most important person in that assembly, Shishupala became very much angry. What is this? So many great other personalities are there, and this Krishna is being offered. So Shishupala began to criticize Krishna in that assembly. He spoke so many ill words against Krishna. Now, the others are all naturally devotees of Krishna. They know Krishna's greatness. They cannot tolerate Shishupala blaspheming Krishna. So the ones who could not fight against Shishupala, they left that assembly. And they didn't want to hear Shishupala blaspheme. That's what scriptures say. If anybody blasphemes a pure devotee or Krishna, one should not hear that blasphemy. So those who could not fight against Shishupala, they left. But there were some warriors, some kings, very powerful kings, they said, we are not going to tolerate this nonsense. So they came up with their drawn swords and said, we are going to fight against Shishupala, kill him. Stop, either he stops blaspheming Krishna or we are going to kill him. And this is also what the Shastra says. So when they came to kill Shishupala, Krishna saw, oh, Rajasuya sacrifice is over, sacrifice is going to be completely spoiled by this fighting. So he pacified everybody, told everyone, please sit down, don't become agitated against what Shishupala is speaking. I'll handle this. And Krishna uses Sudarshan Chakra and cut off Shishupala's hand. Stop this nonsense. Krishna just cut off his hand. Sudarshan Chakra. A shortcut. Just made a shortcut, everyone is passing. Now what happened to Shishupala? Because he was inimical to Krishna, he was allowed to go to the Brahma Jyoti, the spiritual sky, the spiritual world, only the spiritual world. Such people are not allowed to enter the spiritual planets. Those who are inimical to Krishna, those who are against Krishna. Because by inimical feeling you cannot awaken love. Right? If you hate somebody, you cannot awaken, you cannot have love for the person whom you hate. So, Shishupala could not awaken his love, dormant love, by his attitude of enmity, inimical feeling against Krishna. Whereas the other soldiers, they had nothing against Krishna. They were fighting this Dharma Yuddha. So even if there was some residual reactions, they were purified by being killed by pure devotee Arjuna or the other Pandavas. And they died seeing Krishna. So their love was awakened. And they were promoted to Krishna's personal abode. So Krishna did this wonderful pastime of delivering all the soldiers who died on the battlefield of Kurukshetra while looking at him, while having his darshan at the time of their death. Being killed by the arrows of Arjuna or the other Pandavas also. All of them are pure devotees. So Krishna's presence on the battlefield of Kurukshetra was very, very a special reason to deliver all of them All the soldiers who died in the battle, they were delivered. So this is Krishna's kindness. So when he comes to this world, he comes actually for delivering all the living entities. That's why he comes to this world. He does not come here for killing. He does not come here for any other purpose. Maintenance. No, this is not Krishna's business or incarnation's business. That is taken care by his agents. Even Vishnu, when he incarnates in this world as Narasimha, Varama, Vamana, he doesn't come here for any killing business, any maintenance business. No. He comes to display his extraordinary pastimes. And killing also is a pastime. Killing also is a pastime. Like Hiranyakashipu, when he came, how did he kill? Sorry, Narasimha, when he came, how did he kill Hiranyakashipu? Simply he made him sit on his lap, and with his nails, he just tore apart. What does the Bhagavatam describe? Just like a carpenter with a sharp instrument, chisel, he just splits one piece of wood into two pieces. Effortlessly he does it, very neatly he does it. Like that, or like a child can take a wasp and with its, nails, it can just split the wasp into two. Take a wasp and do like this. A small child. Like a sport, like a play. Like that, Hiranyakashipu was killed by Narasimha. But the real reason why Narasimha killed Hiranyakashipu was to deliver the fellow, not to kill him. The Lord has no enmity against anyone. All of the spirit souls, all the living entities are His own parts and parcels, His own children. So the Lord comes to bless them, actually. Even by His killing, He blesses. So this is the special message we get from the Bhagavatam. The absolute nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This absolute nature is not appreciated by those who actually try to realize God as Brahman or Paramatma. As Paramatma, they only understand the neutrality of God, the neutral position of God. As Brahman, they appreciate the greatness of God, His supremely powerful feature. But as Bhagavan, only they can appreciate the wonderful qualities beginning with His compassion, mercy. That's the first and foremost quality of God as a person. You can appreciate His compassion, His mercy. In every action of Krishna, there is Krishna's compassion. Every action. Why? Because he straight away, whatever he does, he delivers the person. Whether he chastises, or he blesses, or he kills, or he cheats. He cheated, tricked Bali Maharaj, telling, I just want 3 steps of land, and took away all his kingdom. But that cheating was also to deliver Bali Maharaj. So much so that the Lord said, I am very pleased with you. Because Bali Maharaj, he could not offer whatever he had in his possession. He could not offer when the Lord took away everything by 2 steps. So Lord said, where is the place for my 3rd step? You promised 3 steps. Where is the 3rd step? So Bali Maharaj said, I am there. So please place your 3rd step on my head. So the Lord was very pleased. And he placed his lotus feet on Bali Maharaj's head and blessed him. What way did he bless him? He said, I will become your doorkeeper. You go to Sutara Loka. Because Bali Maharaj has lost everything. He has no place. Where will he live? So he said, I have taken away everything. Now I am giving you a special place, Sutara Loka. And in that Sutara Loka, I will personally guard, become your doorkeeper. And there is a pastime of Bali Maharaj being protected by Vamandev. Vamandev as a doorkeeper. Once, one brother of Ravana, called Ahiravana, he is somewhere in Patala. He came to attack Bali Maharaj. So, Vamandev, because first he has to face Vamandev, no, at the doorstep. So Vamandev just kicked this guy, Ahiravana. This fellow doesn't know who is the doorkeeper. This Ahiravana doesn't know who is the doorkeeper. So this Ahiravana was just being kicked away. Hey, get out. Don't come. Don't disturb my devotee. Vamandev is kicked away. He was completely thrown away, such a distance, nobody can imagine. He was thrown off the entire, to the bottom of the universe. The maximum distance a person can be thrown away, just by one kick. Get out. So, this is the mercy of the Lord. In every act of the Lord, you can see His mercy. Only in His feature as the personality of God, Bhagavan. Bhagavan is very, very, very kind, very merciful. He is full of all good qualities. He has got love for everyone. That is Bhagavan. That is the personality. One more point, last point I'll make. Prabhupada explains that even though there is no difference between Krishna's personal abode called Goloka Vrindavana and Krishna's Vaikuntha, the spiritual planets called Vaikuntha, which are Krishna's personal abode in his feature as Narayana, expansion is Narayana. There is no difference. There is no material difference. But still, the atmosphere in Vaikuntha is dominated by the opulence of the Lord. The opulence of the Supreme Lord. And therefore, those who go to Vaikuntha, they serve the Lord with devotion, appreciating the richness, appreciating the opulence of the Lord. In great reverential devotion they serve. Whereas in Goloka Vrindavana, the devotees serve the Lord out of natural affection for Him. So Krishna, in his personal planet Goloka Vrindavana, he covers his opulences. He hides his opulences. So that devotees are not overwhelmed or bewildered by the richness. They are more inclined to serve Him out of natural affection, natural love. All the devotees have love for the Supreme Lord. Even the inhabitants of Vaikuntha, they also have love for the Supreme Lord. But their love is overcoated with reverence, respect. So this is the difference in the atmosphere of Vaikuntha and Goloka Vrindavana. But otherwise there is no difference. Both in Vaikuntha and Goloka there are pure devotees of the Lord. They are serving the Lord out of love. But love with natural affection is predominant in Goloka Vrindavana, and love with reverential devotion is very prominent in Vaikuntha. Okay, stop it. Mantrashri Man Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Prabhupada.